welcome back to Nightly Nerds. I'm Tote.
And I'm Ginger.
And we're playing
Chrono Trigger.
So I just had a thought. I almost started laughing as I thought of it.
What?
So, you ever heard of universal basic income?
Yes.
Yeah, so for those who haven't, the idea of it is...
I think it's a great idea.
well, everybody automatically receives so much money a month. Whether you work or not, you get it. So if you work, you still get it. If you don't work, you also get it. And it's to mitigate the, mitigate poverty to a degree. Also because of automation, things like that, some jobs will be disappearing. And so you'll have your basic needs taken care of, and then you won't need to, you can try to find better work and improve your situation without worrying about those basic needs being covered. And then that could, help things out with, like, you wouldn't need welfare and things if everybody has that. Yeah. And then people who have it, who don't need it, they could always donate or whatever. It's, whether it's going to happen or not, I don't know. Someday it might. It's getting more and more pushed to the forefront because of AI and stuff like that. They think in like 30, 40 years, like long haul truckers won't be around anymore. A lot of lawyers won't be around anymore because most are just basically clerks. Yeah. A lot of jobs will just be taken over by AI in some way or another, or automation.
Well, my biggest thing is, like, most of the jobs now are really hard to get because it's like you really have to know the right people.
Well, it depends on where you live and what you want to do.
Well, here in Vegas, you really have to know the right people.
Yeah, this is a town of knowing the right people. But anyway, the number that gets man, he's not letting you up there, is he?
It's just a bunch of gauntlet fights. I know what this is building up to, and I don't want to say it for anyone who's not played the game, but it's one of my favorite parts of the game.
Anyway, so the number that gets thrown around the most for how much the basic income would be is $1,000 a month.
Yeah, because for most of the states...
So if you had three people who were poor, who didn't have jobs and were looking, or were students or whatever, and they had $1,000 every month, they could pool their money together and get a decent apartment and be able to feed themselves.
Yeah.
While they start a business or go to work or go to school or whatever their thing is. So outside of extreme medical conditions. And then if you throw on top of that, if they had the single payer system with a universal health care, which they should do.
Yes.
Even though I'm generally conservative, I actually agree with that. Then that wouldn't be an issue either. But anyways, so I was just thinking to myself, because of our conversation from the last episode.
Yeah.
I was like, because I guess in Nevada, so it was about $1,000 a month if you donate sperm. In Arizona, you could make, if you're healthy, it's $1,500 here.
Ooh.
So I was like, we don't need a universal basic income. You can just donate your sperm. Just donate your sperm every 4 days or whatever it is. Make $1,500 a month.
Well, but the key...
I wonder if that's taxable. I bet you they don't tax that.
The key term when they were saying that was...
healthy?
Healthy.
Yeah. Not every man can do it. But, anyways, and then if you think about it, because girls can get even more for an egg.
Yeah, oh my God, yes.
So if you really don't care about that, and you just want to donate your eggs...
Stop knocking her out. Oh my God.
A woman could do that probably. I don't know how they harvest eggs and how that works.
It's a process. I
know it's a process, but that's also why it's more valuable. But see, I've always thought this too, like, and this is a weird, like, I'm not for, what's the word? Blah, 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 blah. Man, you're getting pretty beat up, buddy. You poisoned or something?
No, I'm I think there's like a quake effect going off.
Yeah, you're like taking damage every...
That's fine. I kind of... When I came down here, I realized that I should have done a certain thing, but I saved, so... Should be fine.
Where did you save it?
Right there.
Oh, okay.
Start of the episode. What I should have done... Because I looked at it, so like I topped everyone off before we showed up here, and I was just like, there's no point in me using a shelter. Well, if I look at their MP,
you had no magic.
I know, so I had to bomb like 3 ethers.
Anyways,
to raise your chest. All right, I had some gear.
What's the word I'm looking for here? Oh god, genocide is stuck in my head and it's not the word. It's nothing to do with that. Oh, it does in a way, but it's oh, what is it called? Where you like try to control population and genetics?
I know which word it is because
it's very taboo, mostly because of past
eugenics.
Eugenics, thank you.
Eugenics.
I'm not like a eugenics pusher or anything like that because it's been proven at many times that eugenics doesn't work because the human, it's
the human genome.
Genome is so diverse, it's hard to predict where disease can come from sometimes. That being said, I remember, like, this is going to sound vaguely racist, but it would depend on where you're at. In certain poverty-stricken areas and neighborhoods, whether it be the Ozarks and the hick white people who live out there and are poor and have too many kids and live off welfare, or urban communities, whatever it is. I remember they were talking about how much it costs, like when these people have children and they have children on welfare and the parents are on welfare and blah 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 blah, and how much it costs them to mitigate that problem. I remember wondering, what if they just paid people to like get their tubes tied? Like, if they offered you, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, not in those. That's kind of an extreme example that probably wouldn't work. But like in China, when they were doing the whole single child thing,
yes,
which I think they've pulled out of that now, at least in rural areas, but maybe the whole country they don't. It's not a rule anymore. But like, say like in India or somewhere where population is a problem, they basically had a program where they said, all right, we'll pay you so much money to get your tubes tied.
Yeah.
Like, we'll pay for the procedure and you get this much money if you get your tubes tied. That way you won't have children, therefore we can control the population. I've always wondered if anyone's ever thought of doing that.
Maybe.
Because that could also be a way, and this is, I don't know where my brain's going on, but that could be a way to get out of poverty if you were poor.
Not to mention, there's, there's
like, if
a lot
you're
of people who don't want to be parents
at all, and then they don't have to worry about it at all, and they don't have to pay for the procedure. I'm just thinking, like, if you were a young woman and you had no desire to be a mother, and you like wanted to pay for education, and you were living like wherever you were at, or get out of your current situation, you could go, okay, I'm going to pay for this procedure, get my tubes tied. I'm going to go in for this procedure. They're going to pay for it, get my tubes tied, and I'll have some walking around money when I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know that in a way also that's kind of not going to be a thing, because there's a reason why they have like tax exemptions for children and stuff. It's because they want us to have kids because they need factory workers and soldiers. But we're kind of like past that, right? And in general, the middle class and upper classes are having less children and they're having them later in life. So I don't know. It was just like a thought I had once. It's probably improper and there's a million reasons why it wouldn't work. But it'd be an interesting concept, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that person doesn't have to worry about pregnancy anymore, so they can do what they do and not have to worry about it. Then on top of that, they get a little money. And the state doesn't have to worry about providing for a child that don't have to worry about possibly having to provide for a child till it's 18 years old. So how much money does the state save there? I don't know if it would really work. And I'm sure that a lot of minority groups would see that as a way of trying to like destroy their culture and their race. I don't mean it that way, but it can totally be construed that way. But I mean, if you're doing the same, you're paying white people to do it too, is it that? And then how many people would like later on regret it? I'm sure there'd be a lot of those. I mean, as long as it was reversible, they could do it in a way in which it was reversible. I don't know if it's reversible for women. I think pretty sure it is for guys. Like you can reverse a vasectomy.
Yeah.
But I don't know about women who get their tubes tied.
I freaking love this.
Or get their eggs harvested.
Oh, big brother, where are you, Mom? This is one of my favorite parts of this game.
Whoa.
What is it, Moon? Not again. So you want to get a name for yourself by grabbing the moss, Moon? What a buffoon. Humans are so silly. It's how you use the sword that's important, not who owns it. You can't even understand something as simple as that. That's why you're human. What should we do? The usual. Test them. We can entertain that. You can entertain us for a while. All right, here we go. Whoosh! Fucking love this part.
Bam. Masa and Moon. Or is it Moon-A?
It's Masa Moon.
I'm just
No. It's the one thing I thought for a long time.
Oh, they can do it too.
Yeah, he's the one. Okay, he's the one that counterattacks.
Do you feel me on that though?
Yeah, no.
You get what I'm trying to say?
I really do. Like
I'm not
it opens up opportunities for those that want to do that choice themselves.
Like I remember this has been an issue in the past. Like there were Native American women that were sterilized, but not by their choice. Like they'd go in for gynecological something, and the doctor would sterilize them, or they'd have a child, and when they're in the hospital, the doctor would sterilize them.
Yeah,
and it was wrong, and it was illegal. It was unconstitutional. But there was like these, they were trying to control the populations, and because I'm sure there were people who thought it was a good thing, and I'm sure there were people who were just racist and evil. But it was a way of them trying to control the populations on the reservations and things.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of poverty on the reservations, and so I get that. And I think it also happened to African American women and Hispanic women in history as well. I'm sure even some white women, or Asians, I don't know. But if it was like an elective thing where you could opt in and you get so much money, that's got to be worth something. Like, look at those guys that like go around and have like 30, like Meta World Peace's dad who has like 30 kids or something.
Yeah,
it's like imagine if you could have grabbed him when he was 19 years old and said, here's a couple grand. We're gonna snip. Everything will still work. You just won't have to worry about busting a nut and having kids.
Yeah, like you're not necessarily seeking them out, but you're giving people the choice. Who already want to do that as a lifestyle.
Who may not want to have children. I guess the only downside I can see of it is people who may regret it later.
Yes.
And I guess you'd have to have some kind of contract where like they couldn't get it reversed. Like if you're a guy, I honestly don't know how it works with women, but like if you're a guy, you can't get it reversed for like 5 years or something.
Only Cyrus made it this far. What should we do? This time it's for real.
Uh-oh.
All right, that's it. Yep, we mean business.
Jean.
Oh,
they're gonna do this. Team up.
Basically what Dragon Ball Z turned into was based off of that. Masa and Moon. Oh no, that's right. I remember why I picked this team for this part of the story, because I have Chrono just wailing on him. Because I have Ice Tackle now.
What I'm saying, Ginger, is I'm not pro eugenics, but
you have to defend yourself.
There's some weight to it, right?
There is.
Like, there's a chance I'm a carrier for cystic fibrosis. I have family members that have the disease, which means that their parents both had to have been carriers, which also means there's a chance my parents are carriers, therefore there's a chance I'm a carrier. I've never had my blood tested or anything for it, but I probably will. If I ever had the point where I thought of having children, I would get my blood tested for it, because I don't want to necessarily pass that gene on or risk having a child with cystic fibrosis.
Yeah.
So there is with certain diseases, there is, some credence to the idea of if you have this rare gene or not so rare gene that can be passed on and cause a debilitating, disease. I mean, people who have cystic fibrosis, they don't live past 40. They just don't. Yeah. Occasionally they do, but they just don't. Living to 30 is a big deal. It's gotten better, but it's basically like being born with TB, tuberculosis almost. It's like I have some cousins that have it. It's like they basically say it's like living your whole life with the flu. Yeah, it's horrible. So it's like, would I want to pass that on? I don't know. So if there was a way, I know, like they're doing that right now with the genome, right? They're gathering all that information. When you get your 23andMe and stuff, you can opt in and they can look for all those different kinds of diseases and where your ones and zeros are on the binary code of DNA. Do you have a chance at this? Are you susceptible to that? What are the odds? Blah, blah, blah. And as we break down the human genome, where's it going to go? And is there going to be a point where we basically say, okay, these people, your genes aren't good. We can either modify them or you can use these other genes from other people and have children. I don't know. I often wonder that. There's also that risk of like when we're doing that, we could make things worse because, if we get something wrong or...
Yeah, like what is it?
Change this one here actually changes this one. It's like, look at sickle cell anemia, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's bad, but if you have that, you don't have to worry about malaria, which is why it's more prevalent in Africa because they're going to live, there's a benefit to having sickle cell in Africa. But sickle cell sucks.
Yeah, it does.
So, I don't know. What do I know? I'm not a geneticist or a biologist or a doctor or anything like that.
And they're all going to drop. Shoot. I did a ton of damage to him. I hope I have enough to kill him.
Can't revive?
I don't have any more revives.
Oh. It's a tough one. Nope.
That's it. All right, that's going to end this episode.
All right, everyone, that's going to end this episode of Nightly Neds. As always, I'm Tote.
And I'm Ginger.
And we'll catch you guys next time.
Bye-bye. Hey, did you like that video?
Well, if you did, click the box on the right for another.
Click the box on the left for a playlist.
Of course, you could always just subscribe by clicking the link in the middle.
Come find us on social media.
There are links in the description below.
Don't be afraid to leave us a comment.
Thanks for watching. I'm Tote.
I'm Ginger. See you then.
Bye.